Hey peeps, Amma here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm joining you with another marriage video and we'll be talking about how to know if you're ready for marriage. Stay tuned. For today's marriage conversation, I am joined by a beautiful couple, Nathaniel and Romi Lott. Nathaniel and Romi have been married for 7 years and they have one handsome child. It's always lovely to know what married couples love about each other. So I had to ask Nathaniel and Romi what they love about each other, and this is what they had to say. Nathaniel said he loves that Romi is good at things that he struggles at. For example, he is hasty and Romi is more cautious and organized. Oh, this is beautiful. And then Romi said she loves that Nathaniel has the ability to see things from different perspectives. Oh, how sweet. Nathaniel and Romi, thank you so much for creating the time for this very important conversation. A very warm welcome to my channel.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited.
I know, it's so exciting.
Yeah, I think it's an important subject. So it's I'm happy to give my experience. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I understand you guys have been married for 7 years. Very, very amazing. Can you share with us how long did you guys have to date before you can get married? And how did this help you?
Okay, so, well, basically it was 2.5 years. We dated for about 2.5 years. Look, it wasn't a long time. I know people, or there are other couples out there that dated much longer than us before they got married. But we were, I think we were both at the point in our lives where we knew, okay, we looking for someone to settle down, and it was just a matter of finding that person. And we were both in our late 20s, almost 30 years old when we met. So, yes, it was just, 2.5 short years of dating. And then he popped the question.
Yeah, that's really nice. But 2 years it's something, I mean, 2 years, it's enough to get to know a person. So I just want to find out from you, why do you think it's important to take the time to know someone or to know your partner before getting married, considering that you guys dated for a full 2 years? What did you get from that? Why do you think it's important to take that time before you get married?
Yeah, I think it's important. It's not like putting out your CV and putting your best foot forward and someone likes you, and you're going to hit it off and it's going to be fine for a long-term commitment. I think, we need to see the best of each other, the worst of each other. We need to be in each other's space and, almost like make each other feel uncomfortable because, I mean, we were like 30, we've established our own habits. And so it's important for us to test that. And also to, speak about the future. You can easily, you speak about the future in very much a lot of detail so the partner can understand what you want. Because we don't want to go into a future that we both think looks a bit different, So talk about all the stuff that, you want to achieve, you want to do, you want to be. And hopefully you guys can support each other. And at least when you decide to get married, you have a basis to work from. So I think that's quite important.
Yeah, that's true. I totally agree with you there. And like you said, when the older you get, the more you develop your own habits, especially if you're growing old alone before you meet someone, you have these habits of yours. And so it's good that when you meet someone, you take the time to understand their habits and see how you can use your habits and meet each other halfway. So yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Just to my next question, what are some of the main things which couples should take into consideration before getting married?
Okay, so we actually discussed this and agreed on this together. So basically you have to, well, we think, in our opinion, that you have to have the same or similar values. Okay, so what are our values? A belief system, whatever that may be. You must at least agree on the major things when it comes to finances. Are we going to buy a house? And then also that comes in there is children. Do you want children? That's very important.
Yeah.
And because children, they cost money. They're expensive.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, how many children? Very important. Then family, is spending time with your family important to you? Is it important to your partner? How much time are we going to spend with each person's family member? Honesty, you must, it's very important. You have to be honest. Or, do we both believe that honesty is the most important, or one of the most important values?
That's true.
Work-life balance. Can't say how important that is.
Yeah.
Do you want to, sometimes people have their careers that they want to focus on. It takes a lot of their time. Is the other part that going to do the same thing? If you're going to have kids, where's that going to fit in? Where are they going to fit in? So you have to have those kind of yes. And that was what we came up with.
Wow. Wow.
So I think when you decide to get married, obviously this person has a lot to offer you. You need to think about, what if this person can't give anything back, if the person maybe gave you some sort of stability, or environment that's nice, what if that environment is no longer there? I mean, we live in days that it is quite, unknown. The future is, it's ups and downs. So it's important to ask yourself a question. What if that's not there? Will I still be able to be with this person? Physically, people could not physically do, we all change shape after we getting married. So it's important. That's the so you need to make sure, you do connect with the person on a deeper level, you appreciate them for who they are, and even if they can't bring certain superficial stuff, not even sometimes superficial, but it's just these physical things to the table, will you still be able to be that partner?
Wow.
So I think that's quite important, I would say.
Oh my word, that is amazing. And I value that, because I kind of bring that up a lot, in conversation. Well, I'm not yet married, but I do talk to people about, life in general, including marriage. And guess what? The whole thing of getting into marriage with true love, for nothing else but true love, is very important. Don't look for material stuff, because that on its own finishes, or it can finish. You don't know what tomorrow holds. And so if you got into it for material stuff, what if that person loses his money and his assets? Are you still going to be with them? Obviously no, because you went for what he has materially. So thanks a lot for bringing that up. It's really, really important. And from what Romi said, it's very clear that you don't just get into marriage just like that. You need to plan. Like you said, you need to plan. Some form of planning is required should you want to have a happy marriage life. So thanks a lot for sharing that. So for my next question, I want to find out, how did you know that you guys were ready to get married? I want to know, what did you see within each other that, what, we've been dating for 2 years, but okay, right now, Nathaniel, you were like, I'm ready to ask the big question. How did you know that you were ready for marriage? Because marriage is a huge chapter of your life,
So there was hints. Okay, so there was a couple of hints. Some of our friends as well got some hints. So
I see Romi is blushing there.
So I don't think I came up with it by myself. But when you start to think, the things you want to do, because there were obviously times we were together and we didn't spend time together.
Yeah.
Especially, we go out for dinner. I have to go drop her at home and I'll return home. You know, it's you think you start those sort of things become. You know, you ask yourself, no, is it time? You know, and yeah. So and also when you know when you think about going out, going with friends, going with family, you know, do all sorts of stuff. Even you just know you want to go away. We talked about going on, you know, out run a race. I loved running, and we can make a weekend of it. So it was quite the stuff that we wanted to do is, you know, together. I wanted to be a plus one at the party, you know. So I want to be a plus one kind of guy. So you know, my thoughts were slowly, you know, changing into something, you know, different. That single habits and single behavior became some. My goals was with her, you know. So it seemed to be that. So that's a good indicator.
Yeah, Romi, yeah.
I just want to add, how did I know that I was ready to get married?
Yeah.
In my case, it's slightly different.
Yeah.
When we met, I was already looking for someone to settle down with, right? But obviously, I did not meet that person yet. And then I met Nathaniel, and you know, we met. Actually, we were colleagues, and we started chatting, and we became friends first.
Yeah.
And then we started dating. And then I think after our first or second date, I thought to myself, this is the guy.
Okay, so you were like, this is the guy.
I knew quite early on. I just needed to, you know, be patient and wait and throw lots of hints so that he knew, you know, where I was at in my mind.
Yeah.
You know, so he could come to the party and ask me to.
That's true. Him. That's true, because then if you don't throw hints, so you were like, okay, I think that's a good idea to give a person an idea, because then if you don't show the interest that you want, then they will think you're not interested, and then, you know, so it's a good idea to give hints. I like that.
Don't ask me what kind of hints I gave.
No. Yeah, well done, Nathaniel, for looking for those hints, for finding those hints and taking them into consideration. Well done, Nathaniel. Beautiful. Okay, so I want to know, is an adult's age on its own enough to determine whether a person or whether people are ready to get married? You know, is it enough just to look at your age and then you say, oh, I'm 40 years, I'm ready to get married? So it's just using the age on its own enough to determine that you're ready for marriage, or there's really much more into it?
There's much more to it than that. I know a lady that got married when she was over 60 years old when she got married, and her partner was over 70, and he had been married before, had children, grandchildren. His wife passed away, and a few years later, he got married again. And they had the most romantic wedding, and they were in love. But yes, the point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter how old you are. It matters if you met the right persons and if you are ready within yourself. You know, to settle down with someone.
That's true. That's true. So in other words, you can be 40 and not be ready to get married, but only feel ready when you're 70. That's just an example. You're trying to say it's not really just looking at the age, but it's also what you're feeling within you that determines you're ready.
Yeah, some people, you know, they never. I think it's quite a mature thing to get married, and some people, you know, they never grow to. I don't want to say maturity, but you know, they're not ready. They're still quite. They want to be, you know, alone, and at times maybe they prefer to be married sometimes, and sometimes they just want to do, you know, something a single person want to do. So it's obviously a trigger to stop thinking and, you know, ask what this person really wants, or are they actually ready? So I think, you know, it can be any age. I think you need to look at, you know, as if you are that person, you need to reflect yourself, and you must also, look out for that. If your partner shows certain behaviors that's, that you would, it probably looks like they will be single, then it should be a warning light.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You talk about behavior, which I think that was a follow-up to my coming question, but okay, I'm gonna ask it now. I want to know what behavior are we talking about? Just maybe an example of what should a person who is ready to get married act like? What behavior are we talking about? Well, how do you know?
I mean, you would probably, if you have a partner, and then there's certain signs. The partner makes plans that doesn't include you. I think that's a big sign. If they even too involved with their phone, it looks like they have another life on their phone, and it doesn't involve you. It could be signs that person. I mean, if you get married, it's all in, everything you have. No, you don't even have a bed that's your own. You don't have a bathroom that's your own. There's nothing. You don't have a personal space. So if you aren't, if you get maybe irritated or agitated, or if you're talking about a life, that's still yours and yours alone, it doesn't involve that person, then I think that's quite a behavior that maybe indicates that you're not ready.
That's true. Wow, that's very enlightening. Wow, thanks a lot for sharing that.
Yes, no, the only thing I would have wanted to add there is that you need to be done with the crazy parties and the late nights.
That's an important one,
Unless you want to do it together.
Unless you want to do it together and you both decide this is how we're gonna live for a while. We're just gonna enjoy it,
Then you go together to the clubs. Together makes sense, and
that's fine. But it mustn't be a one-sided thing where one person, wants to stay out till 1 o'clock in the morning. The other one's at home looking at the phone like, oh, did they text me? When are they coming home? We're gonna sleep and sleep only the next morning.
Yeah, that's
where
true.
were you? What were you doing?
That's true. Yeah,
I think
that's very. Yeah, that's very important. That's very important, because I know that's one aspect that leads to a lot of divorces that I know. A lot of people that I know tell me I had to leave him because he was not stopping. I gave him 2 years and he still comes back home at 2 a.m. and he comes back drunk. That's even worse. So I understand the importance of just keeping together. If you want to go clubbing, go together. It needs to be a mutual thing. Absolutely.
And also maybe it's not like behavior. Maybe it's not so simple as it's not so, you can't see so clearly it's behavior. Sometimes, like I said before, talk about the future in great detail. And then you either, it appeals to you and you're talking, you're adding to this story or this dream. Then you want to do it together. But if she tells me a story about how she sees stuff and I don't feel the same, then maybe that's also, so I didn't behave any out of the ordinary, but my thoughts just of the future may be a bit different. So that's also a trigger, maybe.
Even if you're talking to other people, maybe just by yourself and your partner's not there, and you're saying, one day I want to go to Europe. I want to travel Europe, or I want to travel the US. And I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. But then where's the we?
That's the thing. It's always So you
want to spend your life with this person, but then you're always on the. You're
always one-sided. It's always about you. Then it shows that you're not ready to be we, because marriage is all about we and really nothing about I. That's true. It's like teamwork. I totally agree with you guys. Wow. I want to know, this is my last question now, and I know you guys have so much to share, and which makes me so happy, because with this marriage couple, really the whole point of it is to help people to help married couples actually to have happy marriage life and prevent, you know, divorce. You know, there's been a very high rate of divorce happening, and people, you know, the gender-based violence going on. And so I want to know from you, do you have any, I'm sure you do, any words of advice for anybody who's thinking of getting married, or anybody who's already in marriage? Just any words you want to share with them, just to inspire them and help them have a happy marriage life.
Okay, so from my side, from the female side, or actually, just from the side that cares a lot about a wedding, you know, whoever that person is or gender they are, you must remember, in my opinion, you need to remember that it's not all about the wedding. Once you are ready to get married and your partner's ready to get married and you're like, okay, this is what we're going to do. You know, it can easily take, he's smiling, it can easily take center stage in your mind. And that's a mistake that I made, that I'm hoping my husband forgives me for, you know, because I got so wrapped up in the dress, and like put it on like 30 dresses and the shoe, and how's it gonna look, and here's my organizer, and okay, the organizer was a good thing, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. I became too wrapped up in the wedding, and what I didn't realize is that after the wedding, the actual marriage begins, because that's when you learn, oh, I actually have to take care of this person and myself. I have to take care of our relationship every single day for the rest of our lives. And you know, so it's really, it's good. It's a happy occasion, but it's really only the very beginning, the first step into your entire lives together.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that it's more than just a ring. That's what you're saying.
Yes. It's nice to have a nice ring, but
there's more to it. There's more to it.
There's more to it, guys.
That fairy tale, you know, you think about the fairy tale, but there's a whole reality after that, you know. So we need to take it all in, I guess. And sometimes I mean, you can make the wrong decision, so you shouldn't stay married for the sake of staying married, and but you must really try, you know, and you must, and if you struggle, I think, you know, being patient is quite big, you know, trying to understand the person's point of view, and also, you know, giving the person the best of yourself. Because sometimes you could feel, you know, you're not giving 100%. You're giving 100%, but your partner doesn't. So if you struggle, try to give, you know, 100%. You know, give more, or at least reflect on, you know, what you contribute, and make sure you bring your part. Maybe that is the problem. So I think, but if you're giving your best, and you know, it requires, you know, something out of your character that's to save marriage. I think you know, you shouldn't,
and to go against your values, maybe.
So it's not marriage at all cost, you know, it's a contract. So there's still ways out of it. But you only get one life, you know. It's you don't want to spend your half of your life or most of your life
miserable,
with unhappy. And
that's
many people, you know, they are only happy for the first time, in the second one or the third one or the fourth. So I think, it's not marriage at all cost.
That's true.
You must make sure you are happy, and you make your partner is also happy, even if you're not together.
Wow.
I just wanted to add one thing about the percentages. My father, I used to talk to my father about marriage sometimes, and I used to say, before I got married, I used to say, you know, Daddy, I think that it should be a 50-50 in a relationship, you know, because I'm an independent woman and everything should be hard, you know, chores, whatever. And he used to laugh, and he would say to me, Romi, and my father's married for over 40 years now to my mother. And he would say to me, long time, Romi, it doesn't always work like that.
Right.
What are you talking about? It can't be, you know, it has to be half and half. And then we got married, and 7 years later, I've realized that it doesn't actually work like that. My father was right. Because sometimes it will be 70-30.
Yes.
Other times it will be 50-50. Yes, and sometimes it will be 90-10. you're 90%, 10%. But the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, it's not always going to be this perfect, you know, half and half situation. Sometimes, you know, the one partner carries most of the load. The next time, when the next situation will be the other partner. Sometimes it will be 50-50, you know, but it's not always going to be like that.
Yeah, the woman carries the child. I mean, already it's like 99, 1%. So you know, they need to give birth. That child becomes so dependent on them. So yeah, that's probably, you know, that it happens. And other times, you know, maybe it becomes, you know, I don't know, a different situation where it's maybe financial. You know, I have to maybe make choices, and then, you know. So it definitely changes over depending on what, you know, and you mustn't think about too much about what you're contributing. As long as you're giving your best, I think, and you know you wanted to get through this thing together,
then that should be enough.
Yeah, it should be enough. Yeah.
Wow, amazing! You guys.
It's so marriage is so, there's no self anymore. Sometimes it's, you know, between her and my son, they, you know, they demand 100%. And it's real, and you know, you have to get through it. You just have to compose yourself, breathe, you know, count to 10 and just go. Like my son, he does not understand, you know, busy or I have to do something else.
He's 4 years old.
He doesn't understand tired, nothing. Like he wants to play.
Oh, sweet. Oh my God.
And Daddy's so good at that, you know.
And then Romi wants something done as well. And then it's like, okay, well, between play and I'll get to that, I'll get back to playing. So it's, you think play is easy, but sure, playing with a 4-year-old you need energy.
It's a lot. I can imagine. Actually,
but you know, right?
Yeah,
you know.
I know. I don't imagine. I know. That's how correct. I know. Wow. Wow. You guys are just amazing. You know, this has been a very enlightening conversation. You know, I can talk to you day and night. You guys are just amazing. You inspire me, and I really hope other, you know, married couples and other couples that are not yet married but thinking of getting married can learn from this. So yeah, thank you so much for making the time for this conversation, and truly appreciate it. And yeah, it's just been an honor chatting to you guys.
Thank you so much for having us on your channel. We enjoyed it, and we just, you know, we always think about how we could help other people, you know, that were like us starting out in the beginning. And it was just nice to be able to throw some advice out there. Take it or leave it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's not perfect, you know. There's sometimes we get to a point where someone needs to get out of the house, you know, just create some space. So
Breathe.
yeah, we go through a lot of challenges, and we get through it, and hopefully we can face anything. But yeah, it's not all. You know, you don't get married to be happy. You know, you work at being happy. Yeah, it's quite challenging at times, but for most of it, it's quite
rewarding.
Nice. It's rewarding, yes.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Amma.